Last week, Republican Senate leaders were apparently afraid that we'd scrutinize Trump's cabinet picks too closely. No chance of that. But before being saved by a PS ex machina, they'd already taken steps to create distractions.
Confirmation hearings are beginning tomorrow for a parade of Trump cabinet nominees, 9 in all this week. That is a big number.
No shit. It's like when the dodgeball team throws all the balls at once so you can't respond to any of them. But you know what? Fuck it, just throw me one. Ooh, well, hello, handsome. Who are you?
Donald Trump's nominee for Attorney General,
Jefferson Beauregard Sessions III.
No, that is not the name of a cartoon rooster from a banned Disney movie. It's the far-right senator and next smallest guy in the Orrin Hatch nesting doll set, who was one of Trump's first endorsers, way back when we thought Trump had no chance because he was only attracting kooks like Jeff Sessions. And yes, that's Jefferson, as in Confederate President Jefferson Davis, Beauregard, as in Confederate General Pierre Beauregard, and the third, as in the finger you show Yankees who come down here telling us what to do. In case that name was too subtle, Jeff's parents also drew a Confederate flag in sausage gravy on his birth certificate. So I want to salute Jeff Sessions for breaking family tradition and naming his son Sam. I think in Alabama that counts as reparations. Obviously, Jeff Sessions can't help what his parents named him the day he bravely seceded southward from his mother's Mason-Dixon line. So let's be grown-ups and focus on his record. Jefferson Beauregard Confederacy Scarlett O'Hara Cotton Gin Sessions III was born December 1946 in Selma, Alabama, making him the second most racially divisive thing to ever come out of that town.
Jeff Sessions, it should be noted, he was blocked after Ronald Reagan nominated him to a federal judgeship because of very controversial statements he made on race.
And that was in 1986, when America had no problem with Asian characters named Long Duck Dong and wacky anti-affirmative action comedies about blackface.
What's happening, brother? Get down, looking good.
Feeling good, my soul brother. Being too racially insensitive for 1986 is like being too into piss play for R. Kelly. That joke was in the script before yesterday. Thank you very much. Yeah. Now, Sessions strongly denied the allegations. Watch the woman behind him.
I am not a racist. I am not insensitive to blacks. I have supported civil rights activity in my state.
The chair recognizes the gentle lady from the Ain't Having It caucus. The senators weren't convinced either.
Mr. Sessions is a throwback to a shameful era, which I know both black and white Americans thought was in our past.
Actually, only the white Americans thought it was in our past. You should ask a black senator, except one won't be elected for another 6 years. There was only one thing for Jeff to do: get elected to the Senate and convince every single senator he's a good guy, which he did.
I know Senator Sessions well. We work out in the gym occasionally together, and he is a pleasant man.
Other Democrats Sessions got to know in the gym agree.
We can kibitz in the gym. We're on the bikes next to each other oftentimes.
We both showered, we're putting our clothes on, about to leave, and said, Jeff, give me a number.
Okay. Damn, Sessions spends a lot of time at the gym. No wonder he's had the strength to hold back immigration reform for so long. The entire Senate seems to love Jeff with a passion they usually reserve for hating Ted Cruz. Ted also defended Jeff's record as Alabama Attorney General.
In 1981, in Mobile, Alabama, the Ku Klux Klan ordered the murder of a random African-American man. And not only did you assist in the prosecution, you also prosecuted Hayes' father, who ordered his son to kill an African-American.
What? He prosecuted a lynching instead of breaking the murderers out of jail and buying them a moon pie? Give that man an NAACP award. My God, how low is our bar if we expect people to list prosecutes white people for crimes too in the special skills section of their resume? Not that being enemy of the KKK is a bad thing. I mean, you wouldn't want those assholes on your side.
The most important appointees, Bannon, Michael Flynn, and Sessions as Attorney General. I believe are the first steps in taking America back.
Jeff should be flattered. David Duke is really selective about who he likes. I personally do not believe Jeff Sessions hates black people, and I don't really care about something he said 30 years ago. He's a 70-year-old white guy from Alabama. There's a good chance he's dropped an N-bomb or two in his life, and that's not even counting when he sings along to his favorite Outkast album. I'm more troubled with what he said yesterday.
You said in a radio interview, justice has to be saved from secular, progressive liberals.
And a secular person has just as good a claim to understanding the truth as a person who is religious, correct?
Well, I'm not sure.
Cheese and crackers, Jeff. How do you flub the question on can non-religious people think? You sound a lot like a guy with a history of overlooking black voter suppression while requesting the feds' help in stopping civil rights violations against Christian voters. I think we've all seen the heartbreaking images of Christian voters being forced to take poll tests where they have to guess the number of dildos in a jar. Speaking of civil rights, what does the next head of the DOJ say about police abuses?
But in the last several years, law enforcement as a whole has been unfairly maligned and blamed for the unacceptable actions of a few of their bad actors.
No, it was maligned for institutional bias that results in the deaths of unarmed black men. Independence Day Resurgence was maligned for the actions of a few bad actors. Okay, so much for BLM. What about LGBT?
In 2010, you stated expanding hate crime protections to LGBT individuals was unwarranted, possibly unconstitutional. Do you still feel that way?
Mr. Chairman, the law has been passed. The Congress has spoken. You can be sure I will enforce it.
Nothing like the warm embrace of minimal grudging tolerance. Hey, do you live in one of the 28 states with legal weed? Well, flush that shit. Here comes the 5-0.
Marijuana is not the kind of thing that ought to be legalized. This drug is dangerous. Good people don't smoke marijuana.
That's right. Good people eat marijuana. I don't envy the guy whose first task will be convincing his boss not to seek the death penalty against BuzzFeed. It's the hardest part of the job, as Jeff reminded us when he voted against Loretta Lynch's confirmation.
The top official in our government is required to adhere to the law, even to the point of telling the president no if he gets it in his head, as presidents sometimes do, to do something that violates the law.
Don't worry, Jeff. He's good at taking no for an answer. Ask any woman. We'll be right back.